Hello again, everyone. My name is Joe Clancy, and this is my presentation on the U.S. airline industry and the competitive forces analysis. For this presentation, I'll focus on the two largest plane manufacturers on Earth, Boeing and Airbus. Getting started with a few facts about Boeing. They were founded in 1916 and currently employ around 175,000 workers. Boeing generates about $85 billion in annual revenue. Their Everett factory is known as the largest building in the world, covering nearly 472 million cubic feet. The background of the slide shows its incredible size. The factory is basically its own city, housing a fire department, full security team, and a hospital. Their newest plane, the Dreamliner 787, is built of nearly 2.3 million parts, which is amazing considering the 400,000 that are used to piece together a 737. Airbus, the other large passenger aircraft manufacturer, was founded in 1970 and now employs around 133,000 workers based in the Netherlands. Airbus not only specializes in commercial airliners, but also produces for the defense, space, and helicopter markets. They are currently mass producing the A380, which is the largest passenger aircraft available at this time. Just a side note, I'm currently working in Australia and fly both the Dreamliners and A380s about once a month. They're enormous, incredible pieces of machinery, which should lead me into my next slide. This next slide shows a side-to-side comparison of the Boeing 787 Dreamliner and the Airbus A350. Both very similar planes built for international travel around the globe. You can see why the competition and demand for these planes is so high. Price point, size, capacity, and range are all very similar. The Porter's Five Forces analysis for the U.S. airplane market shows us a stiff competition for the large plane market between Airbus and Boeing. Although the Boeing is a U.S.-built plane, while the Airbus is not, most of them are used for international travel and owned by partners of U.S. air companies. These companies include Singapore Air, Qatar Airways, and KLM. The first of Porter's Five Forces analysis is the threat of a new entrant. Luckily, this market is one that is nearly impossible to enter. The financial investment would be astronomical. In addition, new players in the market would need to establish complex infrastructure, develop supply chains, and get licensing and permitting. This is good news for the current manufacturers and bad news for anyone thinking they could enter the market. The second part of Porter's model also has a low impact on the market. The threat of substitutes in the airline market is not the same as buying off-brand cereal at the grocery store. The name brand and safety reputation of the current manufacturers prevent any type of knockoff from entering the market. Quality, technology, time, and convenience all set both Boeing and Airbus in a category of their own. The next part of Porter's analysis does have a significant impact. The bargaining power of buyers in the jumbo plane market is strong. Since the Boeing and Airbus models are so similar, the customer can use one brand to leverage the other for sales. Not only are the Boeing and Airbus planes the most efficient, technology-driven machines, but they also carry a steady backlog due to their incredible demand. Both Airbus and Boeing rely on large global supply chains. More than 7,700 companies worldwide work together to provide the 2.3 million parts it takes to assemble a jumbo airliner. The overall bargaining power of these suppliers is low. Based on the strict regulations suppliers must meet to sell airline products and the high volume most of the products are purchased in, there aren't many companies that could afford to lose a customer like Boeing or Airbus. The level of competitive rivalry has grown intense in the large plane market. With Boeing and Airbus producing a very similar, high-quality product, the customer has the upper hand. As orders continue to flow in, Boeing and Airbus both continuously work to increase their competitive advantage by decreasing costs, improving comfort, and planes' efficiency. As the market continues to grow and demand for these large planes increases, it's clear to see why Boeing and Airbus will need to maximize profits and minimize costs as much as possible. With huge competition in the market, every penny will count to ensure they stay relevant in the industry. Boeing and Airbus should work with suppliers to cut costs based on volume as much as possible, while buying in advance or at opportune times to minimize cost. Continuing to research ways to increase efficiency and technology as well as developing new products will help each manufacturer maintain a competitive advantage over the others.